Hi, this is Dr. Anya, and today I would like to talk to you about key performance indicators known as KPIs. Key performance indicators are important for business because they are sort of a measure whether your business is performing the way you want it to perform. So is it below where you want to be or exceeding where you want to be? Now, there's a little secret, it's not a secret to it, but there's some importance to it in establishing your KPIs. This is particularly important in strategy because you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing, right, that you said before, and that you're actually achieving the objectives that you have set forth. Now, so let's back up a little bit. Let's talk about strategy. So I talked in the past about your position in the marketplace. Now, as a business, you stand somewhere, right? And we talk a little bit about coronavirus, how this has my kids. We're still in coronavirus, so they're still out there. So anyways, getting back to business. We have been doing really well. Businesses were thriving. The consumers were spending. The economy was really doing well. And suddenly, coronavirus came in and thrown everything off. So when you set your strategic plan, right? And we talk about strategic plan as a roadmap, sort of to your success, really, and something that you need to do in order to sort of have a little bit of a painless or not as painful of an experience in your growth in your business. So you need a strategic plan to have a roadmap to follow. Usually you need to know where you are, so you have to do a situation analysis, right, of the external and internal environment. External, the economy, the political situation, very importantly, your customer. So that is critical. And then you need to do SWOT analysis, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I also talked about this already. So you do that so you know where you are. Based on that, you know where you want to go. Do you want to, which direction you want to take, how you want to grow, and obviously somewhere in there has to be a definition of a customer, right, and your target market. Who is your target market and who you are serving? So you would continue to set your goals and objectives for a year, 5 year, and maybe 10 year if you want to reach that far. And based on that, you would create a roadmap how you want to achieve that. You may want to analyze what you've done in the past, what have worked well or haven't worked well, and then change based on that. Now, when coronavirus came, everything got thrown off, right? So even if you had a plan, you would have to sort of a little bit adjust it or even throw it out the window and start over because the situation has become a little bit of a dramatic situation as far as businesses go. Many businesses are threatened to close forever. So that is something that would call a major adjustment to your strategic plan. So again, you want to know where you are through a situation analysis and your SWOT analysis. You want to know your target audience, target market. Who are you trying to reach? Who can you serve the best? And I also talked about that in the past, so you can review previous videos. Okay, hopefully I can finish up without any kids screaming at me anymore. Okay, so target market, situation analysis, SWOT analysis, know where you are, know where you're going. And here's where you're going. Have goals and objectives set. Then you can set your KPIs, right? They're very related. They're all related. Basically, KPIs ensure or tell you, they give you a story whether you are moving in the right direction. Are you meeting your objectives? Where are you? Are you underperforming, performing just right, or exceeding the expectations, right? I remember when I worked at Corning Cable Systems, I hope I can say it, we had every month with reporting planning, we had deadlines when we want to have report done. And then if we were late, we were underperforming. If we were on time, well, everything was good. And if we are early, overperforming, late, underperforming. And that goes with every business. Maybe in a smaller business like mine, like Leonis, maybe it's production related, right? So your KPIs may be different depending what area you're sort of looking at. But if they're related to social media marketing or any other marketing plan, right? So marketing plan or social media marketing plan, then they have to be specific to that area. So a couple of things that are important with KPIs, right? So if you want to, if your goal is to grow and your objectives would be to grow, let's say 20%, so increase sales, maybe that would be your measure of goal, measure of growth. So if you had increased sales, by how much do you want to increase your sales, and within the amount of time? What amount of time, right? So with KPIs, you would go in line with this. So again, your KPIs would be in line with your objectives. Grow, let's say 20% within a year. Again, it's just a random number. And then you may want to have levels of underperforming, performing just at the right level every, a month, every 3 months, right? And you would have to achieve certain amount of growth. Now, with coronavirus, your goals and objectives may have changed. Maybe your goal will be to reopen by whatever date, right? Well, that would be reopen would be your goal, and then the objectives would be reopen by what particular date. Then you may want to think about revenues, and how do you measure revenues? You want to maybe break even at first, because break even has become, a success story at this point in time. During coronavirus, break even is sometimes a success story because many businesses are hemorrhaging money and they're not breaking even. So maybe you may want to have certain amount of revenue, breaking even at first, right? Or maybe at some point bringing certain amount of people to your shop if you have a physical location. Now, how do you measure it? Well, if it's revenue related, it's fairly simple, increasing your revenue. But let's back up. You really have to be really, really specific when it comes to defining your KPIs. I'm throwing ideas at you, right? But here's the catch. Here's the biggest catch. I don't want you to come up with industry KPIs because the KPIs are very specific to your business. So number one, KPI has to be relevant to your business. There has to have the KPI has to have substantial positive effect on your business, otherwise it's useless. So my business is not the same as other businesses, right? So I'm still very much in a growth phase. So at this point, I actually in the coronavirus definitely want to maintain and grow as well. It's still happening. So your KPIs, again, relevant, specific to your business. Second, they have to be very, very clear. Third, they have to be measurable. Fourth, they have to be achievable. And 5, they have to have a timeline associated with it. Okay? And I would add 6, you want to have levels of it. Underperformance, when you still keeps you on track to meeting your objective. So you may be underperforming for a particular month, but you're still on track to achieving your objective for 6 months, 1 year, or 5 year, right? You may be underperforming at this point in time, and most of businesses right now are underperforming. That doesn't mean they cannot be on track for their 5-year plan. But with coronavirus, probably all 5-year plans are out the window. Anyways, that's beside the point. What I'm trying to say is, just because you're underperforming at one level or one time period doesn't mean that you will not be on track for your to reaching your objectives. That's why it's important to have those KPI levels. That's my, opinion. So, finally, I want you to think about this from a bigger strategy perspective, or kind of drawing the entire circle of this. So we talked about situation analysis, knowing where you are, SWOT analysis, knowing where your business is, knowing your target market, setting your goals and objectives, and having KPIs. Everything that you do, all the tactics that you do to kind of to achieve those goals and objectives need to be aligned and supporting overall business strategy. So if you have a social media plan, if you have a marketing plan, they still have to be in support of your entire business, your entire first maybe unit, maybe or entire business. Okay, so your social media marketing plan needs to support your marketing plan. Marketing plan needs to support or be in line sort of with your strategic plan. So how does it turn into tactics? Well, that's a separate post, but just keep in mind that every, say, tactical move, you literally, or even things like individual social media posts, right, have to be in line with your goals, your objectives. How will you measure it? Maybe it's going to be, yikes, maybe it's going to be levels of engagement, right? Maybe your reach, whatever that may be. It still has to be in line with everything else, with the entire plan. So what's your target market? Which persona did you create your post for? How does it support your goals and objectives? You see, everything should be interconnected. There should be no loose ends. That is why it is so important to have a plan in place and follow it, and have continuous research that if something happened, you can easily adjust, make adjustment sort of on the fly, and then readjust your plan so you can again follow again, have your goals and objectives set, your KPI you want to measure if you progress, if you're on track on succeeding. So that makes it easier to do those little tasks, such as making your marketing posts, marketing ads, or your social media activity. I know I threw a lot at you. I hope I didn't confuse you. If I did, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to clarify that for you. Anyways, no matter what you do, keep in mind, bigger picture means where your business is, the environment in which you're surrounded, so economy, political, your customer, how can you solve customer problems, and how can you thrive? I wish you luck, and I'll see you soon.